Moments, and today I am bringing you a project recipe for a collection called You Got This, which came out last year about this time, maybe a little bit earlier in the year than this, but it was kind of focused on teens, and it had a lot of tie-dye and things like that in it, and jean denim patterns and things like that. I don't have this collection anymore to be able to use it to create this video, but I did pull out this designer paper pack that came out back in 2020 called Painted Prairie. I don't know if you can see that. There might be a glare from the envelope that it's in, the bag that it's in, but I did pull out this collection to go ahead and use it because I felt like it had a lot of this similar elements. It has this kind of tie-dye effect in several of the pages, and I just think it's going to be really pretty to use for this project recipe. So we're going to go ahead and utilize that. So let me go ahead and get started. This one should go together relatively quickly. We're also going to use our tag punch. So if you don't have this tool, you're going to want to get a tool like this to create the tag effect in this project recipe. So hopefully you have something similar to this, or maybe you can cut something similar to this with your scissors if you don't have a punch. But this punch really saves the day and makes this so much easier. So I'm just going to set that aside for just a minute. We'll get to it in a second. We're going to use our trimmer first off, but I did want you to get a good look at the project recipe for this, and we're going to go ahead and proceed to the cutting guides. So you're going to need one piece of designer paper, one piece of tone-on-tone, a piece of white cardstock, and then they're using another piece of designer paper and a piece of denim texture tone-on-tone paper for the base. So these two pages right here are utilized in creating the base that you're going to put the rest of the designs onto. So I'll tell you, I'm going to use, as my base, I'm going to use this really pretty peach pattern paper with the flower on it. There's my little cheater post-it. And I'm going to use this kind of striped, looks sort of like there's been someone went across with a paintbrush. And those two are going to be my base colors. So I'm going to start with those, and we're going to do some welding. I know not everybody's favorite thing, but you know what? The way that I do my welding, it's really become not my not favorite thing, if that makes any sense at all. You are going to want to pay attention if you're using a directional paper like I am. I want my stripes to be horizontal, so I'm going to make my cut, when I cut this paper in half, it's also going to be horizontal so that my stripes continue to be long and beautiful. I'm going to pull my trimmer over here and put my arm out just like so. And I'm just going to stack my pages because, oh, pardon me, oh my goodness. Okay, because this will just be so much faster if I can just keep these stacked. So we're just going to cut these at 6 inches so that we have half a sheet of each one for each page. All right, so this will be page 1, this will be page 2, or the other way around. I don't know why I did that. That's kind of funny. Then I'm going to take this scrap piece of paper here, and it's going to become my welding material. And I'm just going to cut this right down the middle so that I have a piece of that for each of these. All right, I'm going to set this aside just for a second and grab my permanent adhesive. If you've not seen the way that I weld before, this is not my idea. This was Sherry Tilley's idea. She taught me how to do this, and I always try to give her credit for that because she's an outstanding CM advisor. and she was gracious enough to share this tip with many of us. So I'm going to pass that on to you. All right, so you just line up your two pieces that you're trying to weld. You line them up so that they are meeting where you want them to be. Take your adhesive, and I put my adhesive over that meeting joint. I put about 3/4 of an inch of adhesive at a diagonal across that joint as I'm holding the pages where I want them to be. Then I take my welding material, which as you can see was just a scrap, and I place that evenly over the seam and just push it straight down on top of that seam, and voila, we have a whole page. All right, so we're going to do that one more time with this page. And I am putting this together so that this dark portion, the blue right here, that's cut in half, is evident on both sides. So there's a definite seam. You're going to want to have a definite seam in your paper when you go to add on the additional pieces. So here we go. We'll just get this all welded together very quickly, and then we'll be good to go. I don't know why, but I always put the wrong side out. Since this is the back, you can put whichever side goes best for you. All right, so now we have our two base pages, and I think they're going to go like this. I haven't really decided whether I'm doing them like this or possibly doing them, that doesn't meet. I wonder where I was off with that. All right, well, close. Okay, set that aside here for a second. Now I'm going to grab my paper number 1, which is going to be this beautiful piece right here, and I'm going to cut 2 strips, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to cut them so that I have all of the colors in each one, because I just want to see all 4 of those beautiful colors. Actually, there's probably more than 4 represented, huh? All right, so we're gonna go 3 inches. We're gonna cut another one at 3 inches. Then we're going to cut the next one at 4 inches. And these are going to be mats. And we're going to go ahead and turn this and cut it at 6. So we'll have 2 mats, both at 4 by 6. Okay, so those are mats. Then we're also going to take this last piece here and cut it in half at 6 inches, and we're going to punch the ends of these. So you'll want to just go ahead and set these 2 pieces over here by your punch, because we're going to punch those in just a minute. Now we're going to grab the blue piece. That's this one that has like leaves painted on it. It has this kind of grid pattern on the back. And we're going to cut this 2 pieces at 3 by 12. And this is actually being cut just the same as the first piece. So we're going to cut this at 4 by 6. We're going to turn this and cut it to make 2 mats at 4 by 6. 2 mats, and then we're going to make 2 tags at 2 by 6. Each of them are going to be 2 by 6. And I'm going to set those over here because we're going to punch those in just a minute. Then I'm going to grab my white cardstock, and we're going to cut 2 1-inch pieces of white cardstock. So there's 1, and here's 2. And then we need 2 pieces that are 2 by 11.5. So we're going to cut them at 2 inches first. 2 inches. And another one at 2 inches. There we go. The rest of this you can just set aside. We're not going to use that. And we're going to cut a 1/2 inch off of both of these strips. So I just stacked them, bringing them up to the very first grid line right here, which is our 1/2 inch mark. Going to just cut off that 1/2 inch. All right, and then these are going to be punched as well. And we are done cutting. So set your trimmer to the side and grab your bases. All right. So now we're going to decide which way we like this best. All right. So just setting those over just a little bit farther. I'm going to flip this one around, and then we'll just decide which direction we like it best. So the blue will go there, and a blue will go here. And this one will go opposite it. So let's see which direction or which layout we like the best. I think I'm inclined to like this one best, and I have no idea why exactly. Maybe what we need is to see the dark on top of the, there we go. Now we can see the difference. Let's see. Nope, I still think I like this best. So you have dark and dark, and the peach kind of separated. So we'll do like this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let me just switch my directions around real quick. And okay. Sorry. It's all right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put our permanent adhesive all the way down. And then when you adhere this, you're just going to go ahead and put it right on this edge. That's why I said I wanted that the dark blue right up against the seam, so that I can tell where the seam is really easily and be able to put that paper down right on top, but not covering, just right the edge of the paper right at the seam. That's what I'm trying to say. not saying it very well, but that's what I'm trying to say. All right, same thing with this one. So it goes right on the edge of the other paper, just like so, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And if you want, you could change this up, you know, so that you have varying degrees of color across, but I like it, I think, with having both of the colors meet right in the middle. Oops, almost forgot there for a second. Then I need to cover up the blue. That's my seam. There we go. All right, so there we go. We've got our base pages are all together and we've got our 2 strips added. So now we have our 4 stripes down. Let's go ahead and punch a couple of these pages that we need to punch. All right, so we're going to punch the ends of each of these white pieces. And if you have the punch, it just slides right in, right here in the center. It cradles it right in the middle, and you just punch, and you have a really nice tag end all ready to go, which is fantastic. All right, now we're going to do the same thing to each one of these. So we're going to just feed it in, punch. There's 1. And 2. 3. And 4. All right. Having that punch just makes it so easy. Okay, so locking that down so I can set it aside. And here are our mats, which we'll get to in a second. All right, so now what we're going to do is lay this out so we can see how it's going to look and make sure this is what we want. All right, so we've got this piece, which will go here, and this piece, which will go here, which that's not going to work. So hold on just a second. Let me make sure. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I take that back completely. This white piece goes here, and the white piece also goes here. I knew it looked wrong, but I couldn't quite put my finger on why. All right, and then we're going to take these 2 pieces, and they are going to be layered and come in from the left. So I'm going to put the dark one behind it, and this will go right in here like so. Is that right? Yeah. And these will go right up here like so. All right, so let's go ahead and glue those down. I might have I almost got it over the edge there, not quite. Okay, so this is going to go right here centered on stripe number 3, or number 2 if you're counting up from the bottom. Okay. Okay, and then these we'll put together. It's about a 1/2 inch from the top edge, and I don't know if you can see that, but the top of this one is skimming the opening for the tag underneath. So the top tag is right on top of the bottom. All right, I think I'm good there. And then this goes all the way to the edge, and we're about a 1/2 inch from that second stripe up from the bottom over here. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if it wouldn't look better it's just, no, all right. So I'm just gonna put this peach color up here on top. I think it stands out just a little bit more. I'm gonna do the same thing down here on the bottom. This guy didn't get stuck down, so he's becoming a problem. Let's get him stuck down. There we go. Okay. Add just a little more adhesive to the back of this, and then we can get it put down right here. All right, now we're going to grab our mats. One second, because I don't see this long piece. So let me just, oh, you know what? Those were the welding pieces that we cut. I don't know why I didn't realize that before. My bad, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Now, this is going to go here, all the way to the edge of the paper. And another one right here at the top of it, right there at the center, or I beg your pardon, at the top of the white tag. And this one I'm going to put the darker shade there. And then this one will go right here. And they're roughly 5/8 of an inch or so from the center. These tags are. Now, to help you visualize how this is going to look with photos on it, let me show you how the photos will be blocked. because the photos are gonna be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, 3 by 3. I don't know if you can see that or not. Those are 3 by 3. And there will be 2 that are cut to a 4 by 3 standard. All right, so the 4 by 3s go up here and down here. And I would just line up this outside edge with your mat that's on the bottom, this mat down here. Try to line up this edge out here with this edge down here. All right, then we've got the 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, which are going to be your mats or your photos that go on these mats. Okay, and then you're going to have room for 2 3 by 3s on this strip right here in the center. And you can put them right up next to each other. That's how the example shows. Or you can put a gap in between. It's up to you. But the example has them like this. And I would just sort of center them kind of over the photo that is opposite them. All right, so that's the way that one goes together. And we really don't have a lot of embellishment on this page. However, there is a, or on this layout, there is a journal box that they have put down here, or just some titling and embellishing. And then they've used this as a journal box, this tag right here, or this tag up here as a journal box with a sticker or 2 next to it. And I don't have any embellishments that match this paper or this paper collection because it didn't come with those things. But I'm sure that I could dig through my stash and find some embellishments, some flowers, or something that might be appropriate to whatever the photos are that eventually go on this page, and put that here. So there would be an embellishment here, an embellishment here, and then something down here. Or possibly you could put something up here too if you wanted. So here, here, and here. And I might do that rather than cover up the stripes down here because they add some variation on their own. So I think I would put it up there. Or you could put a title up here. You know, there's lots of different things that you could do with this, but it is a fun little layout and it goes together relatively quick, like I said. So it is, I think, a great addition to, or would make a great addition to your album, and be super fun. All right, I hope that you enjoyed putting this together with me today, or watching me put it together, as it were. And I hope that you'll incorporate it into your own albums. And until next time, I wish you many more creative moments. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day.